Hello, I'm FPX and welcome back to the Minecraft update news videos. They have some big news for you all because a brand new update has released for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. 1.14.1 is a brand new update that just released today, and if we're going to be realistic, the 0.1 updates are never majorly exciting. However, what is interesting about this update is that it is going to be the last update of 2019, barring there being something hugely wrong with it, catastrophically broken that needs to be fixed, because there's only 2 weeks left in the year, and also because Christmas break is a thing that happens at the Stockholm office and to some extent at the Redmond office in Washington, and I figured this would be a great opportunity, given it's the last update of the year, to go through every update that released in 2019 and kind of use it as a, look forward into 2020, because we get lots of big predictions about what's happening in any given year, and these are a good guidance. Jeb does say some things, we do hear good roadmaps for the future of Minecraft, but looking at historic performance is a good way to work out the baseline for what 2020 will be, so let's go through every update in 2019 after we talk about Bedrock Edition 1.14.1. So this came out today, and the 0.1 updates are always one that you can expect for every major thing. There's always going to be bugs introduced in every brand new update, and this update is no exception. There wasn't a massive upswell in brand new bugs, but there were a few, mostly related to new features actually, which is surprising. Usually new updates tend to break everything. In this case, we mostly have things that broke because of the update, such as crashes that had to be fixed. These are fairly small ones. We had performance, improvements, which is something that I think is always a great thing. To do with players and to do with servers, which I think is wonderful because servers have been performing real rough for me personally. We also have a fix for achievements and trophies, unlocking for all players during a multiplayer session. To me, this isn't a great fix because who doesn't want free achievements, right? But no, this has been fixed. Not one I've personally ran into or seen anyone run into, but it is one that they were fixing on PlayStation a lot, so it makes sense they fixed it here. They've also fixed view bobbing behavior, which is so important. Oh my god, I still can't believe how long view bobbing just didn't work and got messed up by water and stuff. We've also got bee fixes, which I think is important, and most importantly to me personally, monsters no longer spawn on glass and leaves. These are transparent blocks. Mobs are not meant to spawn on there, but they do anyway, and that's why I've seen an upswell in Enderman spawning all over my end, and indeed just on my glass platforms, my Enderman farm. It's been annoying me personally, so that's a good one to see fixed. We've got fixes for items, including milk, magically disappearing, which again I personally ran into as well. We've got a fix for character creator items appearing incorrectly. We've got fixes to character creator screens when scrolling with the right thumbstick. We've got a graphical fix, and we've got some user interface fixes, including, quite interestingly enough to me, ones for the Japanese language and for the Mario, mashup pack, which is exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. There's also UI issues to do with the Nintendo Switch Online subscription. So yeah, Switch people, you got some specific fixes. The performance issues are still there, but again, there's a lot of. This is the thing about Minecraft updates. This is a great one. They fixed some bugs 1.14. I'm glad they've done that. I'm glad this is out. But there is a huge backlog of bugs that still needs to be fixed. That is still not necessarily there. I'm actually soon going to do a video where I talk about from a video from 6 months ago where I went over 50 pretty interesting bugs that Minecraft still has. I think the majority of those, and I think over 40 of the 50 actually might just still be in the modern versions of Minecraft, because that glass one's still there, the button boat thing. There's lots of very weird bugs that are still in Minecraft to this day, and yeah, that's why I'd like to see fixed in the future. But obviously, for a point update, this is nice, that's that. But this isn't really big news. This is, if I'm being honest with you right here, this is a minor point update. This isn't a big news video by itself, which is why I could talk about it for 10 minutes and 1 second, or what we could do instead is we could dive into the last year of Minecraft updates for the Bedrock Edition at least, because the Java got 2 updates, which is good. They're on track on that way, but Bedrock is what we mostly cover on this channel, even though, again, Java did just have a point update of its own. Java just had the same update. We kind of cover both games, but with a focus on Bedrock, which is why I wanted to talk about and show off the last year for Minecraft Bedrock Edition. And we're going to do so using the Minecraft Wiki, because you know what the Minecraft Wiki is? It's a great way to make a video, and realistically in this case, it's a lazy way for us to show off all the updates, because they do conveniently have every single Minecraft update that's ever come out all in one place, and this allows us to show every single update from, 2019, starting with the 1.9.0 update. This was mostly the first part of the Village and Pillage update for Minecraft Bedrock platforms, which meant that Bedrock, Bedrock actually got a lot of Village and Pillage features first before they came to Java. Although arguably you could say snapshots are kind of like what these updates are, given the bugs you found in them regardless, but it still meant that if you were playing Minecraft, you got a whole host of new walls, as you can see from this image right here, brand new walls found in Minecraft, a lot of them too. This seriously expanded the creativity, because it wasn't just walls, it was slabs, it was brand new signs as well, if I'm not mistaken. There we are. We got a lot of the brand new village features that we didn't get to use yet, like the bell, the barrel, the blast furnace, the cartography table, the smoker. They didn't have uses yet, but it was still an interesting thing. And also we got Smooth Stone. So realistically speaking, this was an update, no, plus the Lantern, it was an update that was purely visually, oriented, and it wasn't that big a deal for some players, but for some people, especially people who love the slabs, the stairs, and the walls, this was a huge and great update, and it was a great way to start the year, because this was, again, February 5th. This was 5 weeks into the year, and the first couple of weeks there isn't much work being done, so this was an impressive, I would say impressive update for the first month and a week of the year. But then the next update came out in March, just 5 weeks later. Again, year got off to a really solid start because this update added shields for the first time. Shields finally came to Minecraft Bedrock Edition. It was wonderful. Also, the jigsaw block, which was a weird thing. The campfires came, the composters came, the looms came, the stone cutters, sweet berry, the mob vote, the sweet berry bush thing came. The pillager outposts finally came to the game, and apparently the crossbow stopped being only available for experimental gameplay. So that's a wonderful little thing, right? But yeah, also the villagers are split in two. All of the brand new things started happening with, this update. This was really the first part of the Village and Pillage update, but, the second part of the Village and Pillage update was V1.11.0. Again, April 23rd, 3 updates had come out this year already. It was a really amazing start to the year, I would say, because, 6 updates a year, 1 update every other month, is roughly the track that Minecraft Bedrock's been going on. They've said they want to go up to 1 update every month eventually, which to me sounds like craziness, but, it might genuinely be possible at one point. But for now, you can see how, 1.11 was the Village and Pillage update, and by itself, as part of the marketing campaign, very hyped. This looks great, right? Yeah, Village and Pillage was an amazing update, but realistically speaking, this update didn't actually add too much itself. It added raids, sure, it added illager patrols, sure, and the new things that came with those, added the brand new trading mechanics, which were great, but besides that, all of the other features actually had come via the last, 2 or 3 updates, because the last 2 updates were this year, the update before that was the Panda update last year. Because Bedrock receives more updates, the Village and Pillage launch, which was huge for Java, was actually fairly small for Minecraft Bedrock, and, realistically speaking, to a lot of people, that doesn't matter. It finally gave them a reason to use these old features, but I thought that's quite interesting that the biggest update of this year that you might think of was actually one of the smallest updates in terms of actual features. Then 1.12 comes out. It comes out July 9th to 10th of 2019. So, again, July, a little bit of a gap there, 3 months to kind of work through it. 1.12 was actually a pretty... It was a non-update, really. It had a lot of things behind the scenes. It was great for map makers, but there wasn't really much else for the users in there. 1.13 was a pretty similar thing. It was the update that added foxes, it added brand new note block sounds, it added structure blocks, and then it added dead coral variants that we didn't have before. Also the Wither Rose, which, I mean, to be fair, does have some value. Not much, but that's a thing. Then there's Suspicious Stew and the Brown Mushroom, but these are all features from the Village and Pillage update that should have been there that weren't initially. This was finishing off the Village and Pillage update, but refusing to acknowledge that they were Village and Pillage features, which was kind of weird. And bear in mind, this was 6 months after the Village and Pillage update. Again, Village and Pillage comes out, first 4 months of the year, amazing in terms of features. Next 6 months of the year, between April 23rd and October 29th, 6 months and 6 days in the year, we get foxes, we get dead coral variants, we get Wither Roses, and we get brown mushrooms of the related Suspicious Stew. It was a pretty, and everything else was kind of parity related. All of those things were parity too. It was a parity update that took 6 months to make, and it was pretty depressing. It was like a bad sign for Bedrock's year. And then 1.14 was, of course, the B update, which I would say, a nice enough update. It's the same as Java. Very small update for Java. Pretty normal-sized update for Bedrock. Not the most inspiring thing in the world, but not a bad update in any particular way. And also, bees, this update went beyond what I was expecting. It was beautiful, and I will not be stopping these puns, even though the update came out a full week ago now. But yeah, no, so this is the interesting thing about this, I would say, is that the, Buzzy Bees update was a feature update, but it was the only feature update in the second 8 months of 2019, and this raises the question of, does it really take the same amount of time to develop an update, mostly for map makers, that most users don't get to really interact with? Oh yeah, commands are, that's really wonderful, the particle effects are wonderful, and are these updates that take all this time to work on the back end, do they really take that much longer than the user-facing features? If so, shouldn't every update be focusing on user-focused features? One of the things we heard Dinnerbone say this year that, actually seems like it makes sense based on this progress is that most features that go to both Bedrock and Java are prototyped first on Java, and it really seems like based on this year, 1.9 through 1.11, the free updates in the year that got done much faster than the next free, it seems as though they can make more features that users enjoy, and they can do it in a faster time if, with the big if here being, if they can, have them be done on Java first. It's funny because a lot of people talk about Java being discontinued. There's no plans right now. It's an eventually thing, but who knows? But realistically, Java and Bedrock seem to have quite some synergy in just how much faster they can develop new features if they're also developing on Java as well. There's a real benefit in having Bedrock developers work on features, Java developers work on features, and them kind of compete together to see which ones are best. Again, the competition of the two teams, you could almost say it's competition driving them, but like, there's something about having both games work on something that according to the results alone, I can't comment on all the actual ways that the development goes down because it's a very complex process involving like 100 individuals on many different teams within 2 different studios. But what I can say is that looking at the results, things get done a lot faster when it's happening on both platforms, and that is why 2020 might just be an exciting year, because we know that unlike, the last update, which started progress in the end of the last year, the Never update has been, worked on for quite some time on Java. We've seen none of it for Bedrock, so the 1.15 update for Bedrock seems like it would be very hype, because again, usually you'd expect like, oh, there's nothing to do here, they might just do bug fixes. I think we're going to start seeing all of these internal behind the scene features, which we know exist on the Java edition. If you're curious as to how we know it exists, we've seen lots of developers even tweet out like here, me thinking about the unreleased features for Java. I'm misquoting it horribly. It's on screen right now. Lots of Java developers are, talking about the features they have developed that aren't publicly facing yet, and that means the first snapshot of 2020, the first beta of 2020, the first Never update peak we get is going to be very exciting because of the amount of time they've been working on it, because they've been working on the Never update since after Buzzy Bees was finished, since before Buzzy Bees released, because this is a fun meme end of year update. I mean, who doesn't like to be in a world where this is a real Minecraft feature? But it does give us a very promising look into 1.15 and to 2020 as far as updates go. But the big question is, as soon as that finishes, will Java take another big gap? Because when Java takes a gap, Bedrock takes not necessarily a gap, but it takes a gap in terms of user-facing end features, and that's something I hope is not repeated this year, because again, the year got off to such a promising start, free updates in the span of 4 months, and then the last 8 months of the year got free updates as well, one of which was pretty much nothing, one of them was very close to nothing, and one of them was the B update, which again, in a good year would be a small update. So yeah, with that said, that is my review of 2019 in Minecraft updates. Is this a thing anyone asked for? Probably not. Is it a thing you got anyway? Heck yeah. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a like if you did like it, because it helps out the channel. Let us know you do like the Minecraft news videos. Share if you really liked it. And just remember, 2020 has got some exciting Minecraft news up ahead. Personally, the Never update is probably going to be the one that interests me the most, because I love the generation aspect of Minecraft, the exploration. The Never is going to be a place you'll actually want to explore now, and as someone who's got a lot of Never chunks generated, I've got about like 300 megabytes or something of them because of that million block run I did, I have the opportunity to see lots of old terrain mash with new terrain in interesting ways. So yeah, I'm going to be covering this update and the world generation, the stuff that people ask about for every update. I'm going to be covering it in depth because I want to do a bunch of experiments, and that's a thing you can expect to see from 2020 from me. And actually, as far as this goes, yeah, 2020 is going to be great as far as Minecraft and Minecraft news videos, because you know what the best bit about Minecraft news? It's when I get to talk about it in these videos. But it's also going to be a wonderful time for, again, the world generation, the seed stuff, the things I enjoy about Minecraft. I am very excited about 2020. Even just looking back at 2019 and applying the same trends, we can say probably going to be bigger. And when you look at the fact that everyone in the Minecraft engine thinks it's going to be a bigger year, that makes me believe that 2020 might just be the year for Minecraft. There's no more Minecraft platforms they have to update. Again, bear in mind a big part of 1.13 and 12, we don't know for sure, but based on the leaks we found from the game, arguably was getting PlayStation 4 Edition on board. There's no more platforms to get on board until the end of 2020, and that, to me, signifies we're going to have a big year filled with big features, I would hope. So yeah, with that said, thank you very much for watching. Like if you liked it, all the things I just said. And also, just be in mind that tomorrow, for my Thursday live stream, I'm doing a really weird experiment where I'm going to build a road, and the road's going to get longer every time there's a donation or super chat or whatever. It's going to be a really fun experiment. We're going to build an endless road over the void. I've got myself so much netherrack and so much endstone planned, and we're just going to go and we're going to see if it's the worst idea we've ever made. Maybe the road only goes 50 blocks, because every donation will be 10 blocks. But yeah, we're going to do some fun like little things to kind of like have some, like for a jungle sign, etc. And it's going to be the end of streamers, because we streamed for 13 days in a row actually, which is the most I've ever streamed for. It was a really fun time. It kind of gave me a peek into what life would be like if I was a streamer instead of a YouTuber. I really enjoyed it, and thank you to everyone who came out and supported it. If you would like to support a stream, tomorrow is literally the stream that is just all about support, where you make the road longer, and you can know that when you donate, you made the road that much longer, or you can have a sign placed down, or lots of wacky things like that. I'm looking forward to it personally. I think it's going to be a fun experiment, and also because, you know, like it's called like Stream Tips Build a Road, you know, your boy gets tipped, and who does not like money that way? I do personally. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, because I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.